listening to Oilersnation Radio, a member of the Nation network of podcasts and delivered by DoorDash. 1 hour of straight hockey talk with Dan, Rick, Tyler, and Bag Milk starts now.
Oilersnation Radio episode 653. Want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the room. Liam, Tyler, Rick, Dan, Bag Milk here. Of course, we got a lot to talk about on the Friday episode of ON Radio. We're going to start off.
What is going on with you right now?
It's on a lot of episodes while I was gone.
Because it's fun to fuck with you. I like to do that kind of stuff and look at your face and you just get confused.
I wasn't paying attention. What did you say?
Episode 653.
Yeah, we just had a big discussion if it was 240 or 241. Yeah. I'm still not quite sure.
And we just added 400 more episodes in that time.
But like the fun part for me is legitimately looking at Tyler when he's confused and then he's got this look on his face like, what are you talking about? What's happening right now?
Well, then you almost spilt your coffee.
Yeah. That would have made me sad because I just washed this hoodie.
How often do you wash your hoodies?
Weekly.
Do you wear your hoodies once or twice before you wash them, or does it depend?
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
It depends.
Depends on the activity you do in them.
100%.
What about jeans?
Jeans?
I'll go years without washing them.
I'll go, well, I won't go years. I'll go like 2 weeks without washing my jeans.
I think I've worn these jeans 3 times this week. And it's Friday.
They're fine as long as you're not like actively shitting your pants. Like,
yeah, like,
well,
yeah, like you got skids in there?
Jesus, bro.
It's taking a long time to answer that question.
Debate?
I think we just found a new one.
Shit.
You've never pooped your pants as a girl in a
It's a problem when I do it.
No, actually, I've never.
Speaking of shitting their pants, the Oilers are 9-8 on the year.
I shit my pants like 3 weeks ago, legit.
Shut up. Don't say shit like that. We have a lot of people listening to this podcast. We're trying to build up credibility.
This is what the sponsors pay for. ON Radio episode 953. We are getting started with a delicious debate as we always do for our friends at Oodle Noodle. Clearview, it is open. You've been asking, it is open. It's reopened. And if you're down in Calgary, that new location in Calgary will be opening very, very soon as well. If you are feeling lazy on a Friday and you don't want to cook, our friends at DoorDash, Liam,
ding dong,
are here to help you. They are here to feed you. You've worked enough this week. You don't need to do any cooking. Like, let's get over it. Tyler?
Yeah, what's up?
What is the Oodle Noodle delicious debate for this week?
Well, I don't know if you guys saw, but Mattias Janmark's on the top line for the Oilers right now. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that this will work?
Who wants to start here?
I think I'll just say I'm confident at like a 6 that it's going to be good in the meantime as much as we need him. I don't think they plan on him being a long-term solution there, but I think he was showing some good effort in his games that he's played. I know it's limited experience. Rick, you have a different opinion?
Well, no, I just gonna effort, whatever. Yes. I don't see it being that much of a difference. Unfortunately, I don't think he has the offensive chops.
Yeah.
To really take that step up. And the guys that have had the opportunity, who I do believe have the offensive chops, just haven't been able to do it yet.
The reason why I'm maybe like a little bit optimistic about this, and I think I'm going to come in at a 4.5 out of 10, not quite halfway there, but willing to give it a chance, at least even more than when I first looked at it and saw that it was happening. He plays pretty intense and he moves okay. So if you put those things next to Connor McDavid, there's a chance that you can do well. Like Patrick Maroon scored 27 goals next to this dude. And what did how many of those were from outside of 3 feet in front of the net?
So outside that, very few.
Exactly.
Just get to the front of the net, keep your stick on the ice, bang home the rebounds.
So I think there's a lot of it with McDavid that like if you're a competent NHLer and you just have the right mindset, you should be fine. And part of the reason why I think maybe Puljujarvi and Nuge didn't work as a duo next to McDavid, neither of them love going hard to the net. Neither of them are particularly intense on the forecheck. Puljujarvi will get in there every once in a while, but he's not like, oh, wow, always first man in kind of thing. If Janmark and Hyman can be that, first guys in, hard below the goal line, force the centerman down low to support, that could open up space for Connor McDavid to then do some more magic in the offensive zone. So I don't know. I'm 4.5 out of 10. This very well could last 2 periods.
He needs,
or it could last 2 weeks.
People on his line that can put the puck in the net.
That's
sentence. That's pretty much all that's what he needs. But nobody has been able to do it so far. We do not have that secondary scoring yet. Until we get it, you can place whoever you want there in the roster, and it's just someone's got to start putting the puck in the net.
That's all I was going to say. Is just to Tyler's point there further with Nuge and Puljujarvi on that line. McDavid is your shooter, and that's, I mean, not ideal. I know McDavid is a good shooter, but he's also a pretty darn good setup guy, and you need a trigger person. You need somebody that's just willing to take that shot.
I don't even know if it's a trigger person or a shooter. Someone just has to put the damn puck in the net.
But put it at the net and put it. Yeah. I mean, I would say
knocking pucks down in front of the net or deflecting or doing whatever. They just need to start scoring goals, and it needs to be outside of 29 and 97, and obviously 91's out for a while, but someone needs to start scoring goals, and everybody else is behind pace right now.
I was a little bit surprised actually that Nugent Hopkins got pulled off alongside McDavid. He's on pace for 40 goals this year. So it's not like he's not scoring. Clearly Jay Woodcroft is looking for a spark after what was undoubtedly a rough offensive game for the Oilers against LA. Yeah. And I know that we'll get there, but I don't remember what I said on Oilers Nation every day in terms of my comfortability.
I think you said 4.
So 4, like I can see it working. Janmark is a guy who has 19 goals in the NHL. In 2017-18, he scored 19 goals with Dallas. So he's done it. He's scored at a reasonable clip in this league before. Is that going to work? I don't know.
That's 5 years ago already. That's crazy.
I
was just doing the math right there. I was like, how far? Oh my God.
Because that would be
5 years ago.
That would have been with what?
Dallas.
Probably Jamie Benn on the line. And I don't even know. Was that back when they had the Russian?
Chushkin?
No. Radulov.
Oh, Radulov.
Radulov, who I was thinking, I mean, I know Nikushkin is
he was
Russian, but
the 5th highest scoring player on Dallas that year. It was
behind
Ben with 79, Sagan 78, Radulov 72, and Janmark with 34.
Wow.
Quite the drop off.
How comfortable are you with him up there, Liam?
Sorry, Devon Shaw, 32 points that year on Dallas.
Wow. Where'd that guy go?
So what you're saying is that if Janmark doesn't work out, he obviously needs to be replaced by Shore.
Yeah.
Of course. I'm like a 5. I agree with what Rick said. Like, who else was really doing anything to deserve to be up there?
I liked your boy Kleem. We learned it's Kleem today.
Mr. Kleem.
I liked your boy Kleem up there.
I sent the meme to everyone.
I did. I saw that.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Thanks, Kennedy.
It was a clean meme.
Thanks. I'm like a 5.5. I just think, who else did you want to give a go? Like, eventually someone's got to kind of be a spark on this team, and you need something from somebody in the bottom 6. I think Fogel's earned his spot with Draisaitl. He's played well the last 4 games. And then Puljujarvi, I think he plays better away from McDavid, right? He kind of focuses on playing his own game than having to play what McDavid's trying to do, if that makes sense. I'm like a 5.
I agree. I like giving Puljujarvi a chance to just focus on himself.
Yeah.
You know? Like, just go out there and play your game, man. Don't worry about 97. Don't worry about 29. Don't worry about fucking up. Ryan McLeod's not going to give you death eyes if you turn over a puck or if you go offside. Like, just go play your game. Be a good third liner for this team. And you know what? If you're a good third liner who can score 15 goals a year, I'll give you $3 million. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
I think I've said this before on this podcast. I think when Yessa plays with Connor, he feels so much more pressure to do something.
But they play it. They exchange the pucks so well.
They do. Like
he finds it in the corner. He knows exactly where Connor's going to be. Connor dumps it in a spot. Yessa knows exactly where he needs to be to pick up that puck from Connor. They just haven't been able to find a way to put the puck in the net, which has been extremely frustrating.
That's the ultimate reason why Puljujarvi got yanked, right? Like, he's got 3 points in 17 games. He just played the last handful with McDavid. It's like, it's tough. You got to score eventually.
I did like that video that came out the other day of Draisaitl giving Puljujarvi some pointers with the one-dimers. It's nice to see that at least,
they're working together.
At least the core of this team isn't looking at some of the not producing pieces and being like, fuck, geez, like, what are you guys doing?
Well, that's
like,
Twitter, though. That's what Twitter is.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way what's going on in the room is just the insanity we see online.
No. But it was still nice to see Draisaitl like taking some time to work with a young player.
Because that's one thing that Yessa needs work on that. Like, really, like, he duffs those one-timers and they either go 5 feet wide or they just kind of float into the goalie. So I'm happy that Leon's doing that, because there's no better passer on this outside of Connor than.
Okay, but at least the 2 shots that were in the video,
I didn't want to say it.
Wow, were muffins.
But
we're working on it. Got to work on it. Because, like, man, there was one Connor set Yessa up. I think it was the first game alongside him where he set him up and he just duffed one from the high circle and it's just kind of like.
Yeah, but that pass was better to a left-handed shot. It was more towards his left skate than his right skate, and his stick's obviously by his
But still,
right
like,
foot.
if that's Leon on the reverse side, he's tattooing that puck.
Yeah, he's fun in a way too. That's fair. Yeah, no, I'd definitely be working with Yessa around, that basketball key and just banging pucks into the net. I want to see I put the water bottle back on top where it was back in the old days, and I want to see popping that stupid thing because that puts some force behind the puck.
Would you rather see Puljujarvi stay with McDavid then, or do you think he's good on the third line? Just because
I think he's good in both spots. I think it's very frustrating to see anybody play with Connor and not have offensive, chances or putting the puck in the net. I'm at the point where I don't know. Like there's nothing about this team right now makes sense. Yeah. They're not scoring, and that's somehow I don't get how they're not scoring.
I don't think they're playing well as a team.
No, I would agree.
I think that's the reason.
Their attention to detail is sloppy right now.
Yeah,
sure, but they have the individual skill to still find a way to put some pucks in the net, and some of those guys aren't putting the puck in the net.
But this kind of reminds me of last year in the sense where Connor and Leon started off like a house on fire. Yep. They cooled down, and the depth scoring just wasn't there.
But yes, it was scoring at the beginning of last year too.
Yeah. Well, up until this point in the season, actually, this is where he really started to cool off.
I look back at the road trip and I look at the Carolina. It was Carolina, then Tampa, right? Back to back. And
Washington, Tampa.
Carolina, Florida. The Oilers got their shit pumped by Washington and didn't look good. We felt like they were bad all over. And then the next night they come out and they play lights out against the Tampa Bay Lightning. I shouldn't say lights out, but comparatively to the Washington game. Yep. And that didn't make any sense for this team on the second game of a back-to-back. That I think kind of
they were very good in the second half of back-to-backs all year last year. But there's, what it is? It's no consistency. Period. Yeah. There's just outside no offense, no defense, no goaltending. There is no consistency. They have one bad. They put one together. You're like, okay, finally, here we go. Yep. And then all of a sudden, you got another flat tire. It makes absolutely no sense right now.
I think you're bang on with that. Like just the lack of consistency for a team that has the talent that they do. And I know they're missing Evander Kane and Kyler Yamamoto, and that sucks. 2 pieces of your top 9, but like sometimes it's not even consistency scoring. Like there's some shifts where it's like consistency and the lack of effort. Seems like some of these guys go out there and float around for 30 seconds, lay a half-assed hit, and are like, "Oh, there's my shift."
Well, I mean, we joked about Kucherov and Kane. Well, when Kucherov was out for the entire year, that didn't hurt Tampa one iota. Yeah. When we're without Kane for 3 games, and we're already kind of saying mercy, mercy, mercy.
Well, I mean, like no matter what the team is, sucks when you lose 2 top 6 wingers. And I know Yamamoto's struggling. Blah blah blah. Don't tweet at Tyler if you disagree, but like
that's fair.
It hurts no matter who you are. And Kane is a massive loss. You can't replace that guy internally.
But every team the Boston Bruins started without McAvoy and Marchand and went 10-1.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. I get it.
The rest of the team needs to find a way to start.
And they haven't yet.
Nope.
So let's look through the line combos. New line combos today. These are from practice, courtesy of Jason Gregor. New first line. Janmark, McDavid, Hyman, Nuge, Draisaitl, Fogle, Kleem, Costin. Ryan McLeod, Jesse Puljujarvi, Holloway, Shore, Ryan, Nurse, CC, Kulak, Bouchard, Murray, Barry. Any thoughts on the rest of the line changes?
Third line's good. It's weird. The top line is probably the only one that's like, oh, what is this? Like,
well, it's just because Janmark's weird on there.
Yeah, the Janmark thing's weird. I think the third line's fine. The second line is earned, I think is a good way to put it, for like Fogle. And what's it is Nuge, right? Is the other winger? Like, I think it's just what the Oilers are got to do right now. You got to experiment because literally nothing else is working.
I think that third line has sneaky potential. A couple big bodies. Klim moves well. Maybe Puljujarvi gets going. Ryan McLeod's Ryan McLeod now. He's an established third liner in my opinion. So I think that third line could maybe be a bit of a jolt. But again, like there's a part of me that looks at a line like that has potential. And is like, okay, I think you got to give them 3 or 4 games. And like see if they can work well together. But I just don't see that happening. I think it's either going to click right away or Woodcroft will pull away from it.
That was going to be my question for you. Whether switch up the lines? Okay, fine. Would you rather they do that when they're struggling a little bit, or would you rather them go back to kind of what was working on the 5-game win streak? I know you don't have Kane anymore. I get it. And let the team kind of work through it.
I'm a big fan of trying to get chemistry going. I don't know. I look around the league and there's, team. I'm not saying no other team goes to the blender, but it feels like a lot of times with these high end players, it's like, okay, they kind of have their guy and they roll together. Like Crosby and Gensel, it feels like they've been playing together for 3 years, right? And it just feels like we're always
scores.
Yeah, I know. But
he found his guy just like Crosby.
It's like Kunitz. Yeah, exactly.
He found his guy, and it's just kind of frustrating at this point. Like Hyman could be McDavid's guy, but we're always yanking him down to the second line and then putting Draisaitl up there when you're losing and all of this. I just wouldn't mind trying to see if there's any combination that could get some chemistry going instead of just going down by a goal and like, fuck, blender time, here we go. I know it's tough too because you're trying to give your team a spark and coach in the moment and all that. So it's easier said than done, I suppose.
I think the better way to do it though would be move McDavid to other lines rather than move guys away from McDavid.
Like you talking about like 11-7 situation?
I don't even care if it's 11-7. If you're doing 12-6, just if Devon Shaw's on the fourth line, just throw McDavid out there for a shift anyway. I feel like that's probably way more effective and kind of goes to your point too, a little bit of like,
I think you do see that from time to time.
Yeah, I guess so. But I don't know. It just, I would like to see him gain some.
What do you got against Devon Shore? Why is it Devon Shore?
Hey, I am team.
He's had a couple
score.
of bad games.
Yeah, he has not been great.
That play in the LA game, sorry to cut you off, but when he fumbled it and then went back the other way and crashed into Stuart Skinner, Jesus, man, you can't do that.
Not ideal. It doesn't help me defend him very much. But yeah, Devon Shore, he's not that Dallas Stars 2018.
How many points did you say he had?
32, 11 goals, 19 assists.
Where did that guy go?
Yeah, that makes sense, I think.
I just think that for me, and Tyler, to your point, like you look around the league and you see these stars and it's like for Draisaitl and McDavid, just staple them with somebody, give them some kind of continuity in those lines. You can shuffle the other sides around, especially where you have the versatility of your wingers that you still do on the team. I just think that, I think you either give Draisaitl some consistency or give McDavid some consistency and then try to figure out the other guys.
Give me 10 straight games of Connor and Hyman. And let's just go. Let's just see if they get rolling and start to figure out a few things. And maybe he can start to finish next to 97 because someone's gotta. And I think we'd actually probably all agree Hyman's the best winger they have.
Yeah.
I would.
Well, like Kane's out, but like right now, Hyman's the best winger they have.
Probably better than Kane anyway.
I think there's an argument to be
with
made.
everything considered.
There's just such a different style.
It's tough to compare
debate.
those two.
It's a debate that would happen, I think, continuously, never ending. But
I want to hear from you. If you're listening to this, Oilers, let us know. Janmark up on the first. My fucking laptop again. Can you hear that?
Go.
Yep.
Dear listeners,
I can hear it.
I'm going to try and
I
ignore
don't think
this.
the listeners can hear it.
Okay, we close it down.
What is it?
I don't know what's happening.
It's an alarm clock.
It's only when I do this podcast too. It's the only time it happens. So,
It's a pizza pop timer.
oh man, I wish. Throw a couple of pizza pops in the air fryer.
You guys, you should have an air fryer here.
Oh,
Should have.
Oh, we should have an air fryer.
Although no one
here.
would clean it and it would just get disgusting. So
You got a
maybe
dishwasher,
That's
don't you?
That's where the good flavor comes in.
Yeah, it's like a grill.
Yeah.
cast iron thing.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
wash it.
Yeah.
Oh, you
don't
just
wash
throw it in the dishwasher before you leave the night.
get some Mr. Clean. Throw it in, make some.
There you go.
You love that meme.
Yeah, it's probably fun.
If you're listening to this, again, I want to know about Mattias Janmark getting bumped up to the first line alongside McDavid and Hyman. Will it stick? What's your number? Not your real life number. How comfortable are you out of 10 with Janmark up on the first line, I should say. I want to go back a little bit to the game against the Kings because that was one of the ones where the frustration for me was that the Oilers didn't really play poorly necessarily, but LA's trap style game where they fall back in the 1-3-1 was so effective in eliminating the Oilers attack. That's what was frustrating to me, and that they couldn't change their tactics to kind of get through the clutter.
They need to learn how to play through that
Yes.
because they don't really change their game style all that much.
No.
But you need to like watch the games from the 90s. Watch whoever's playing the Devils in 96 or something like that.
Yep.
You need to find a way around this. And yes, the officials need to call some of the water skiing in the back, but you need to find a way to power through this. We saw it last year in round one. We thought it went away. Thought, you know what? No, right. That was a 7-game series. Thankfully, we got through it. Shouldn't be an issue anymore. I think they figured it out. They haven't figured it out. They need to find a way to get through this because otherwise every team is going to do that to them.
It was like, where's the plan B on that? Because once the Kings got that first goal, you knew what was coming. They just drop back into the trap. They clog up the
It's
neutral
not
zone.
even a trap, man. They've dropped 4 guys behind center. If the
It
4
isn't
guys
a
don't cross
aggressive
center.
trap.
Well,
They line
is
up across the
crazy.
blue line too. Like there's 2 on the blue line and the 2 defensemen back. Like you got to figure something out.
You need to start coming to a speed and you need to come back to both wings and you need to cross dump.
And just also,
And then when you get inside, you need to reestablish how to keep control instantly because they're going to just focus in on the puck.
they need to simplify. Like you can't be chucking passes to center ice too, hoping that somebody's going to be there. Generally there is somebody there, but so were the LA Kings.
Yeah, you need to come up and I said that last time, is they need to start playing as a 5-man group. And against the team like that, you need to come up as a 5-man group.
What did you guys think of the game against LA on Wednesday? Disappointing loss. Obviously it's a division game. It's a
Frustrating.
4-point game. Frustrating. Absolutely.
kills kills me that they couldn't get the puck through the friggin' zone half the time too when they get into the zone. I know Bouchard was absolutely annihilating legs, and that's fine, but everybody else,
if they're going to block everything, start shooting higher.
That's exactly it.
If you hit them in the stomach, and I'm not saying put it like in
just a couple.
I'm not saying put it off their nose or something. If you start firing them in their stomach, I promise you they're going to move.
Like when Draisaitl just fired one at Arvidsson on purpose.
Yeah, I heard that on the radio. I haven't yet to see the video. I was trying to find it.
I really thought Leon was going to get his first. I thought he was going to drop him.
Me too.
I thought they were going to chuck him because he was big mad.
Well, he called out Edler for not having fought in his career, and Draisaitl hasn't fought yet either. So
yeah, but Draisaitl's not out there throwing knees.
I know,
like
that's agreed. But I'm thinking that might be Draisaitl saying that he's ready to go if he needs to.
I'm not fighting Leon Draisaitl. That guy is a war machine.
That's exactly it.
Terrifying.
Wasn't there another moment outside of Hyman and McDavid where Edler did something else?
There was some greasy hits from behind. I don't know if he was a part of that or not, but I was shocked at how many hits from behind there were.
NHL doesn't call those, so that's not a big deal.
Let's talk about the Edler thing. Alex Edler stuck his knee out on Connor McDavid, did not get any supplemental discipline from the Department of Player Safety.
Of course.
Connor went down, did get up, thankfully. If I'm Alex Edler, I'm sending the linesman a gift basket because he prevented Darnell Nurse from tuning him up.
And these linesmen need to get the hell out of the way. Fighting is allowed in hockey, right? Yes, you get a penalty.
If you're going to throw a hit like that,
get the hell out of the way and let them deal with it. Otherwise, you get more chippy throughout the game.
If Alex Edler is going to throw garbage like that,
these linesmen are just
prepared to pay the price.
They're dumb.
But this is what the instigator rule also stops from happening.
The instigator was the knee.
But they would have taught in that. But that's the thing is that if Nurse came in and tried to fight him, Nurse would have been tossed from the game.
No, 2-5-10.
Well, 2-5 and a 10, but essentially would have been removed from the third period. Would have had like 4 minutes left to go in the game. So I just like, to me, the instigator is the issue here. We saw it again last night. Pierre-Luc Dubois slashes Sam Carrick, and then Brendan Dillon comes from behind. Sam Carrick greased Dubois. Dubois turned around and slashed him. And then Dillon comes in and fights him and gets the instigator penalty because Dubois and Carrick weren't allowed to fight. It's such an asinine rule if the Department of Player Safety is not going to step in and then say, you can't do that.
And this is going to be very unpopular, but I go back, somehow the stage fighting dealt with some of this stuff. Yeah. So you don't have to go and get the instigator. Fine. You know what? Whatever. We'll line up and we'll drop him right here then.
Yeah.
And it's dealt with then.
And it's not an Alex Edler even. It's another guy on his team that Edler then has to respond to because he got into a fight.
Well, that's one thing too. I'm tired of this. The Oilers need to start going after their players.
Yeah. Yep. I was just
forget going after Edler.
That's exactly it.
Dude, Doughty should be picking splinters out of his leg all night.
No, the kids should, honestly.
Well, no, you go after their best players.
I think you go after their
talent. And then you are stopping in the crease every time what's-his-face stops the puck. You are in the crease. And I want you pissing off their defenseman. Mm-hmm. Nobody will do that. And especially with 91 out, at 25, obviously far too valuable to be doing that. And defenseman, you can't.
I said yesterday on Real Life, like if Evander Kane was in that game and he saw that happen to Connor, I don't think the linesman would have stopped him.
No, he wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said he would have beaten the shit out of the linesman and then just gone right back to Edler.
Dude, so I know, like, nobody fights Kane. He gets in more scrums than anybody. But as soon as the scrum gets too serious, these guys are looking for officials. Edler didn't even drop his gloves.
It's just like, remember when he popped Brendan Lemieux around the linesman last year?
Yeah.
Well, Edler has only had one career fight, and it was the same.
Because he hides behind the officials all the damn time.
But it was the game where he greased Hyman, and then Wayne Simmons fought him after that.
Well, those are good linesmen then.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
The linesmen need to learn that you need to allow that to happen. Like, stop getting in there. This is not a G-rated show on Teletoon or something like that. Let them fucking fight.
It was a dirty hit too. It was a dirty, greasy hit by Edler. I'm like, what do you guys think about the NHL not giving him even a fine for it?
Stupid. Gutless.
Okay, I don't understand the NHL rules now for suspending players. So previous suspensions don't matter?
No.
That is ridiculous.
They only come into play. It's something to do with like how much salary you have to forfeit or some shit.
Not even like the 3 seasons, then it goes away, kind of like your demerits.
It's all about money. It's all about money. It has nothing to do with games.
Did it used to be that though, right? No? I could have sworn it used to be.
Yeah, you're like, if you were a repeat offender, your punishment would be longer.
Oh, maybe it used to be, but Frank has told me that the repeat offender thing only applies. Yeah, you're right. Because in the Shanahan days, they used to say that in the videos, like, this player is a repeat offender.
Yeah. Like Letang got off on his big one because he had done nothing previous kind of thing.
See, I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
If you steal from the store and you get caught, it's going on your record.
Bag of chips?
Yeah, maybe a bag of chips, bananas, perhaps.
Oh, of course. Need your potassium.
But what if you're
Chicken
on
wings?
you're just
I
on
don't
a
know how
shitty
you're
team?
stealing those bananas.
What if you're just on a shitty team that's always mucking it up and causing shit? You know what I mean? Like,
No, but it takes a lot to get a suspension. Therefore, it takes a lot to get a second, and therefore a third.
Did you guys see what John Scott said?
Yes.
yes.
So I'll tell you, Rick.
Please.
So John said on his podcast, so him and Tim were talking about it, and Tim was basically saying like, oh, I don't think it's like much in it. And John said like, no, if you're an NHL player, you skate every single day, you know exactly what you're about to do. He's like, I'm not going out there saying that like Edler meant to hurt him or anything, but,
No, but he threw his leg out there to try to stop him.
He knew what he was doing.
1,000%.
And yeah,
Knew he was
he
beat.
knew he was
Yeah,
beat.
you throw your leg chicken wing out there, and you hope for the best.
He said it was a 5-game suspension in his eyes.
What do you guys say to the people that say that McDavid and Hyman were trying to avoid the check and that's why it got worse?
No,
He
it
still
doesn't.
stuck his leg out.
Regardless, he moves his leg into the direction of the oncoming player.
A guy that was going to beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think the onus isn't on the player with the puck to be like, well, I gotta like take this hit. I think they're trying to get around you. The onus is on the player.
Isn't that victim blaming? I thought we were going over victim blaming.
What happened to eyes on the chest or whatever? Not watching the puck, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get beat. You get beat.
And he would have.
Don't need to hurt a guy, but
Don't get beat next time.
And again, like the NHL not giving any kind of discipline at all, it doesn't make sense to me because
They don't want to make themselves look bad. That's why.
but like everybody in that building on Wednesday night is there to see Connor. Nobody gives a fuck about Alex Edler. And why doesn't the NHL, like if that happened in the NBA to LeBron,
Yep.
it's
the
a
NFL.
much different situation.
yeah.
Well,
so
NFL basketball is too much flopping. You never know.
if someone need Patrick Mahomes, it'd be hell.
Dude,
Yeah,
I still
you
go back.
literally can't touch quarterbacks in the NFL.
I go back to the game
Like-
against Dallas when Fogel got hit from behind. And it was Pavelski hit him. He hit him square in the numbers.
And Hyman came in.
Yeah, when he met him, yeah. He hit him square in the numbers. And not a fucking call on the ice, not a call at a disciplinary committee, nothing. Like, are you going to wait for a death?
Yeah. I think there's so many things happening in the NHL. What league do we play in? NHL.
NHL.
That fighting needs to be part of it.
It does.
Like even to bring it to like an Oilers thing. Niemelainen the other week when we played Nashville, I know we kind of debated that, but he tried to crush Ekholm and then he turtled and didn't fight.
And that's the instigator saved him there too.
You got to fight.
What was the score in that game, though?
The Oilers were winning.
We were up by five. We were up by
We
a
debated
bunch.
it and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so that one, I'm a little bit. But at least it was a clean hit. That was a dirty hit.
Yeah.
But then there's like other stuff, and then like what's that? McCarron was like cross checking Holloway at the end of the game because Niemelainen wouldn't fight earlier on in the game, and then Puljujarvi wouldn't fight. It's like it's a tough game. People have got to fight eventually, and then you get Edler kneeing the best player in the league.
So
and it's just like a ricochet every single time.
Yeah, the NHL sold us a bag of goods with this instigator, right? They made us believe that 2 referees was going to fix a lot of things because 2 referees can see more than one, and they believed
No, they
made us
can't.
believe that the Department of Player Safety with Colin Campbell was going to fix things. No, it didn't. And it just they continue to sell us on this stuff. And yes, I totally understand that there is a ton of literature and there's a ton of real life experience now that we've learned from that says that fighting is, a part of the brain injuries that are coming out of hockey. I get that. I totally understand that. But what's not happening is we're not protecting these players from these head hits and these injuries that are being caused because of the dirty stuff that fighting was instituted to fix. And I'm not saying that it's the right answer for the future. I don't know that whether or not it is, but what I am saying is trusting the Department of Player Safety and trusting the referees to catch everything is not the answer.
Nope.
And that's where I have the issue with it. And so if
They
you
don't
remove
even try to make that the answer anymore.
that's it. And if you remove the instigator from it and then you continue to have an issue, sure. But to me, we've now listed 3 different examples with the Edmonton Oilers alone, where the instigator has either stopped something from being policed or started something from being main police. So I don't know. You can debate about it all the time, but.
Well, the interesting thing is like when a guy like John Scott says it, it's a little bit different because he played in the league, right? Like we can argue about it on Twitter.
And he's a certain kind of player in the league too.
Those guys, I bet if you ask them to a man, would prefer that they police it themselves.
1,000%.
Like the refs call the rules, all that shit. But like there's times like the Edler thing where if Darnell Nurse had tuned him up like he wanted to, then probably the rest of the game is a little bit different.
It is definitely, whether it be, I don't know if the score changes, if the gameplay changes, but some of the chippiness goes away.
But then like to the team toughness point, removing all this, talking about needing the instigator removed and all that. If you accept that this is the way it is, then yes, the team has to go after the LA Kings players that they value the same level that we do for our guys.
1,000%.
And it's really like, and again, that turns into eye for an eye and all that bullshit, but that's just the system that we're playing in. So you got to do it, or we're going to be sitting here frustrated after every one of these situations.
I want to hear from you. If you're listening to this Owen Radio podcast, hit us up Twitter and Instagram. Give us your take on the Alex Edler knee on Connor McDavid. As you can hear, we did not like it. Fair?
Yep.
Very.
All right. One quick note.
Please.
Did you guys notice who the referee was in the
it was the guy from Chicago who called 1,000 penalties.
Same ref.
I said that guy should not be in the league after that game, and he should definitely not be in the league now. Go back down to the AHL and work on your
learned his
skills.
lesson. He doesn't want to call anything anymore. Right?
Yeah, he's probably saying that. I made this joke on Oilersnation every day. He's like, hey, last 2 Oilers games I've called, they've had 8 power plays. What are you bitching about?
See, I know that's another thing. I think these guys need to leave their emotions and their egos checked at the door, and they don't. They bring it on the ice with them.
They're asking NHL officials to leave their egos at the door.
Yes. I'm asking officials, people who are in charge of running something like that, to leave their egos and their emotions at the door.
Robot refs.
But they get
you can be a fucking adult.
They get screamed at by a Rick at every arena. Like they have to have a little bit of
Not every arena has a me. Anyway, if you
Come on.
you look at, and you know what? You look at soccer. Those guys get people right in the fucking face.
I was just about to say.
And those guys don't flinch. All they do is throw up their little red card. NHL refs sit there and bark back.
Maybe
they call them out sometimes.
Sing harsher songs and ref you suck.
Yes.
There's a couple of things the fans can do. I got a couple up here that can.
I know some English guys, and I went to a soccer game with them once, and we chanted all sorts of weird things that should not be chanted outside the bus on the way and back. It was
all
quite
on a
funny.
Radio show.
But you got some good chance.
Box. Like that was fucking bad.
There were some bad ones there chanting on the bus. It was you laugh.
I remember a couple of them.
Not to.
Yeah. All right. We've covered Alex Edler. Another thing that's popping up around, I talked to Tyler about this on Oilers Nation every day. Do the Edmonton Oilers need more team toughness? My thought was,
not really.
We're only talking about this because the Oilers are not winning right now. When they were winning 5 games in a row, nobody said shit about team toughness.
I agree with you. I think that the only team toughness we're going to find is in that locker room already. And it's up to each guy to just start doing a little bit more physically to continue the message.
What are we looking at with team toughness per se?
What do we mean?
Finishing checks.
Well, Tyler, what's the consensus that you've heard?
Well, so I think some people go, we need to be tougher and think of like, you need to add a pure fighter or whatever. And it's like,
get their George Larocque out there to beat the crap out of someone when that happens. I get it.
You don't. That's not where I think we should be having this conversation, because I think that area of it is just a byproduct of the team losing and people reaching for a reason.
And getting frustrated and want to see instant fucking gratification.
Yeah, they want to see if you're going to lose, at least beat the shit out of someone. And in the moment, it leads like, we need more team toughness. The kind of team toughness the Oilers need is harder forecheckers in the bottom 6, guys who aren't afraid to play a physical game, who make life miserable on the other team. When defensemen are going back to get pucks against the Edmonton Oilers, doesn't matter which line is out there, those D-men should be like, fuck, here we go again. And they should be getting crunched. And that doesn't happen with this team. And I get it. Connor McDavid's not going to do that. And Leon Draisaitl, even though they did it last game.
They do it.
But they shouldn't have to do that with regularity. It should be the complementary pieces. And we just don't see that with enough consistency. Ryan McLeod, I love the guy. I just said he's established himself as a legit good top 9 winger. He's the king of flybys. That guy does not want anything to do with physical contact. And it's like, dude, you're young. It's fine. Like I'll cut you some slack, but you got to start fucking hitting people.
He needs to put some size on.
Yeah, he probably does. He put some size on. Like I love him as a player.
Thickness.
Well, like as an example, Kailer Yamamoto gets in the mix and he's tiny.
It's been ingrained in him for so long because he's always been the smallest guy, so he's had to do it. Then you look at some of these guys, but then you look at some of these guys who are big, and they're like, they didn't have to do it, so they don't know how to do it.
Devin Shore, have you ever seen that guy lay a hit in an Oilers jersey? I don't remember the last time. Derek Ryan.
Devin Shore taking a lot of shrapnel today.
I know. Derek Ryan will like get in there, but he's not the most physical guy. He's smallish guy, but like. And I think Devin Shore's a guy, he can be your 13th forward and come in and out of the lineup, but that's the piece I'd be looking to replace. It's like, get a guy in this bottom six who can fucking hit.
But even Nugent Hopkins last game threw a couple of hits at that Anderson Dolan guy. Yeah. And he dwarfs Nugent Hopkins, but you can just get in there and make a point. It doesn't have to be a bone crunching hit, but we talked about it on the last episode. Just show some friggin' effort show that you're doing the right things away from the net.
The funny thing about Nuge too is like there's always a line with him where he'll drop him if he has to. And I think the Oilers probably need a little bit more of that attitude. Like a guy like Ryan McLeod, I'm not expecting him to fight.
No.
But there's got to be a line in which case he just sees red.
So, and I don't know if he can see red for the record. I just think he's too much.
He's a very happy guy. Yeah.
But this was said about him in junior and in minors. It took him a little bit to get comfortable with his game in junior, start finding the offense. Then the rest came, and same with that in the minors. I want to see some more physicality out of him by the end of the year.
Yeah, and I think that's a fair expectation. But this whole conversation is part of the reason why I think I'm falling in love with Clean Costin. He might be my new boy.
Okay, well, this is one thing we do though.
I know.
One game we got real jacked up.
Well, did you watch our show yesterday?
No.
I called him the answer.
Oh, wow.
You want to see him next to 97.
I want to.
You probably will by the end of the month.
By the end of the next game.
By the end of next game.
Is that in his bio? Like on the back of his hockey card, does it say, hey, this dude's going to go fuck shit up in the corners?
No, but it's in his bio steel.
I think he's more likely to do it than some of the options we have in the bottom six. And that's just
I don't like that because he's more likely. I want a guy who's going to go out there.
As default, he's more likely. Like I remember he blew up Dursey right near the side of the net on Wednesday, and I go, whoa. Because he did that reverse hit. Dursey was coming in. He just blew him up.
Because I've seen 55 start throwing some hits.
Yep. You sure have.
I've seen 37 start doing it. 13, I still want him to do some more, but that guy needs to put some fat on himself because he's way too...
he's also joyful. Yeah.
He does on the forecheck though.
He does, but it hurts him so much. Yeah. It hurts because he has no fat. He has nothing to protect. He's so lean. He needs to go hit a couple of donair shops and then start using that so it doesn't hurt so bad.
I wish we could just get more like of a Zach Hyman kind of trait in Yessa, where Zach Hyman, when he parks himself in front of the net, he is a menace and you cannot move him. And Yessa has some of that, but the doggedness isn't quite there. I wish we could have more of that.
He exits on his own. Yeah.
Forget team toughness. Do the Oilers have a team thickness problem?
Yes. How many C's we got?
They ain't thick enough, boys.
So that's when you lose, Kane.
That's where I think that the narrative starts to get lost. And I do think that there is people that just believe bring in a bigger body will fix everything.
I asked
when we brought in Ben Eager.
Yes,
exactly.
Hey, dude, I had a lot of big hopes about that year. Darcy Hordichuk. We brought in 5 guys that summer, and I was like, dude, this is like
Fraser.
Colin
Fraser.
No.
Mark
Fraser.
Oh, Mark. Yeah, that's fine. But it was the issue with Eager was we had that damn Russian defenseman who killed him in the preseason or in scrimmage or something.
That was in the Joey Moss
and that was the end of fucking Ben Eager. There was some other dude who played like 3 games in the league, maybe.
Anton Belov?
No. It was a prospect that didn't even make the show.
Yeah.
I asked you on Twitter about the Oilers line combos. I just said, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you look at them? Some of the answers, gentlemen, give me your thoughts. Hat backwards. Thomas says that they didn't realize their issue is the D pairings bothers me. Thoughts on the D pairings? Because they're the same.
This is the whole entire roster having an issue right now. So I can't say that.
They're desperate and I like it. Man, can't JP just average half a point per game? Is that too much to ask at this point in his career? It bums me out. Rick, what are you gonna say?
I just want him to, that's all I want. There's not a person on that Twitter thing there who's a bigger JP fan than I am. All I want is for him to start putting up some points. I want that puck to start going to the net for the guy.
I fear Woody has gone full tippet. Let's pump the brakes here, people.
Whoa.
Brakes. Anyway, let us know what you think about the new Line Combos ON Radio podcast on Twitter and Instagram. A couple of quick notes before we move on to some Ask the Idiots questions. Tyler Benson sent down to Bakersfield on a conditioning stint. What does that normally look like? Is that a week?
Yeah.
What are we looking at here?
Couple games.
I could see him meeting them in Jersey. The Condors played a night and Saturday. So he could play Friday, Saturday, hop on a plane Monday and meet the Oilers in Jersey.
Do you think that is the plan where Benson comes? Because here's what I think. Having Tyler Benson on that fourth line left wing is way smarter, in my opinion, makes more sense than having Dylan Holloway in that spot.
Oh, yeah. Like, what's even the argument against that? Dylan Holloway, 8 minutes a game, isn't doing anything for his development, and it's not doing a whole heck of a lot to help this team win hockey games.
The argument would be that it allows him to still be in the roster, get some more minutes. He's not getting them, but I would put him in there over Shore. I just think he goes out there, and they wanted him to be more of a pest and play a more physical game. And you saw that out of Benson last year.
I'd go Malone. I'd call it Malone. I'd go Malone, Benson.
Yeah, that's fine.
And Ryan as my fourth.
I'm all good with that too.
I would go with Brad Malone.
On the other night, Tyson Barrie played his 700th NHL game. So just a quick shout out to him for that. If Benson does go to meet the Oilers in Jersey, is Holloway are you doing that flip?
What day is the Jersey game?
Monday.
They also play the Islanders on Wednesday.
Bakersfield play Tuesday.
They do, correct.
So, yeah, I guess that would probably be the easiest. I feel like it's just the most logical one.
I think it just
like I
depends on
get
what
the
he does
Devin
this
Shore debate, but also more beneficial for the team down the road that Holloway starts playing some real hockey minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Even if it's just to get him back into a game
That's
shape
exactly
and you
it.
want to bring him back up, whatever.
You're-
Boost
you're
the confidence
hopeful.
a little bit. Like I could see them doing the Yamamoto with him, you know what I mean? Where they pull him up in like late January or something. And then all of a sudden he looks like a player who's got a little confidence. He scored some goals with the Condors. He's feeling good about his game.
And then they sell him to us as a trade deadline pickup.
Exactly.
That works.
No, that's Evander Kane. You know it is.
That too. Yep.
I hate when teams do that.
I hate it too.
He's basically like a deadline pickup. What?
It's like, no.
It's like if I went to go pick up my car from the shop and was like, it's basically like I got a new car.
Yep.
No.
Wait, you don't say that every time?
The new car smell, it just smells like fucking motor oil.
For our friends at Twig and Berries, twigandberries.ca, it's time for Ask the Idiots. If you go to twigandberries.ca, use the promo code NATION15, you'll get a little discount on your order. If you are in St. Albert, go try some stuff out. The ODR collection, I should say, is wonderful, and ODR season is coming. You should be there. You should be out on the ice, and you should be looking good while you're there. twigandberries.ca. I got some questions for you here, fellas. Dan's right in front of me, so I'm going to start with Dan. This one's from Jed. Frank Saravalli and Mike McKenna were talking about whether the Capitals should shop Tom Wilson. Would he be a good fit for the Oilers? Kane and Wilson as in your top six would be deadly in the playoffs. I'll just start. Yeah, of course you want to get Tom Wilson, but like, how do you fit it? What do you have to give up to get him?
That's
like,
the real question. Yeah.
Sorry, Dan, go ahead.
No, that's okay. I was just going to say, yeah, like, I think, what is his 4.5?
5.1 million for 2 more years. So it's
I'd
this
love
year
it.
and next. I like the idea of it, but what do you have to do to make that work?
Yeah, I'd love
You
it.
got to find a taker for Tyson Barrie.
Yeah.
Then you have to replace Tyson Barrie.
Yeah.
And then you probably have to find a taker for Warren Foegele or Jesse Puljujarvi and move Wilson into the lineup. On top of, what would the cost be for Tom Wilson? Probably one of your really damn good prospects and a first round pick. So are you giving up or going a first and doing what it takes to get rid of one of Foegele and Puljujarvi and also doing what it takes to get rid of Barrie? It's not realistic.
No, Borgo's not touchable unless the return is like a 24-year-old.
Isn't Tom Wilson hurt?
He's also hurt.
Yeah,
He's been hurt. I was just going to say, you also have to ask your question, or you have to ask yourself, why is Washington getting rid of Tom Wilson, who is a guy that can play with Ovechkin and can play on their top line? So,
Like, I love the idea.
yeah.
Tom Wilson on the Oilers top six. Love it. It's just not realistic in me.
If he could play defense, it's a different conversation. But
He can't play hockey right
there
now.
you go.
Therefore.
I'm in.
But he's
Sign
dude,
me
he's
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
but he's out a while too, though, man. Like
think
he's out with
for
an
the year.
ACL.
No, he'll come back in like January.
So
or
we
something.
Kucherov, Tom Wilson, and Kane.
Kucherov, Kane.
Now all of a sudden
Wilson.
we got a whole lot of cap space to spend.
Oh yeah. Then we can get Chicken.
And Kucherov him too.
Yeah, he is hurt as well.
Oh, boys,
We're going to look so good in April.
Straight to the cup.
It worked for Vegas.
When we never get there.
From the good Captain Felton, Rick, you're up next. In a bizarre world, there are no Canadian hockey teams whatsoever. Which team do you cheer for and why?
If there's no oh man, like where did the Oilers go?
They gone.
Houston.
They went into if they went into just dissipated, I don't know. I guess I'd have to follow some players. At this point, I don't know if I could cheer for another team. I'd have to just cheer for players at this exact point.
They never existed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, now they never existed. So now I'm living in a city that doesn't have a team.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like living in Kansas.
I think again,
It's like living in
I hear the
Calgary.
weather's really nice there though.
You're living in Saskatoon.
Lots of tornadoes.
Oh, that's terrible. Who's going to be my team if I can't pick one of the, you know what, right now? I don't know if I have one, man. Like I got the Oilers are here, so I can't even look at another team with a favorable view.
If I had to pick one, shout out to my Columbus Blue Jackets, lovable
obviously.
losers. Come on. I think that's where I'd go. I'd find some lovable losers.
Losers for sure.
I'm a Bills fan, so like I'd maybe gravitate towards the
How
Sabres
about
too.
the snow in Buffalo right now? Just for
Hey, how about last week?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the football
How
team.
about the Lions?
Does anybody
2 wins in a row?
Can we post the standings in the AFC East right now, please? Can we post the standings in the AFC East after this Sunday, regardless of what happens? Because we're still in first.
Son of a bitch.
Liam,
Oh no, 8-2 would get you. Never mind.
it's bizarre world. There are no Canadian hockey teams. Which team are you cheering for and why?
I would go with the Seattle Kraken for one reason. They are the closest team to Edmonton.
And you love Macklemore.
Macklemore. I saw Macklemore once.
Really? Where?
On the
Shaw
street.
Conference Center.
Really? Was he
Yeah.
good?
He was good. What was the guy? Ray Lewis? No,
Yep, Ray
Lewis.
Lewis.
Definitely Ray Lewis.
guy who
Ryan
killed the
Lewis.
person?
Ryan Lewis. Yeah, Ryan Lewis and
producer.
Macklemore. It was a lot of fun.
Ray Lewis and Macklemore is a way different show.
Yeah, that'd be something. That'd be something.
Dan, there is no Canadian hockey teams. Which team are you cheering for and why?
I'm definitely going with the Vegas Golden Knights. And it would have just been because I would have jumped onto the bandwagon early on and seen it from the start.
I think if I have to pick,
Tampa Bay because of Patty three-peat.
There you go.
that's a decent one.
But
You know what?
That's because Patty played here. So
Yeah.
I've always kind of had a soft spot in my heart for the New York Rangers from Mark Messier's time there.
I don't hate them, nor the Bruins, because without them, we'd have 2 less cups.
So
Shout out Bruins.
I might pick the Rangers. I really like Shesterkin as well. I think he's cool to watch. I like the way that team plays. Probably the Rangers, I guess.
Rio.
Trying to think of scenarios in my head. Like when I became a hockey fan, which team would I pick?
And it's funny you say the Rangers, but it's because
Of an Oiler.
of the Oilers.
Yeah.
I might have picked Chicago too, because the first draft I watched was 2007 when Patrick Kane was picked.
Hmm.
So maybe that would have been my little connection there.
Tyler, you are up next.
I get my answer.
Oh, no. You're up next for the question.
Okay, cool.
No problem, Gene. I think I got this. No problem. Go ahead.
Has any of your preseason expectations changed based on how the team is playing currently?
Yeah, I said Dylan Holloway would put up 50 points. Got a funky feeling he might not get there. Just a hunch at this point. Yeah, like I still think Oilers have an outside shot at winning the Pacific, but I kind of thought it would be theirs to lose at the start of the year, and I maybe overlooked how good Vegas would be. So that's kind of changed for me. But my concerns about this team as a whole are still largely the same as they were at the start. I think that third pairing on the blue line is very worrisome, and I think they could use one more bottom 6 player. So I don't know. They've changed a little bit, but the one big one is I don't really expect them to win the division right now. I still think they could, but I'm not expecting it.
I'll just go next because I'm selfish. My expectations haven't really changed. I've got high expectations. Preseason, they were high. Right now, they're high. The Oilers need to turn it around or I'm going to be disappointed. Liam?
I'm with you. Yep.
Insightful.
Well,
Yeah.
there's not a lot to say, is it? Like the issue at the start of the season was defense. It's still the issue, but the Oilers are still good enough to probably win it all if they really put it all together.
I do think I said the Oilers win the Western Conference. I still stand behind that. I thought Vegas was going to be good, and I didn't think they were going to be this good. And I also thought Florida was going to fall off, and that hasn't happened at all. So,
Rick, have your expectations changed?
Nope. There's no chance Vegas is a 14-4 team. They will come back down to earth. What are we? Right, 9-8 right now?
9-8.
Yep.
So we're not even a quarter of the way into the season.
Tyler, you're on check math.
So yeah, I'm not gonna. Yes, the answer is
17 games.
Yeah. So no, I'm not changing my mind right now.
Liam, I'm starting with you. The Oilers, Hank Hill. I don't know if it's actually Hank Hill though.
Who's Hank Hill?
Tell you what.
Pardon?
You didn't watch King of the Hill?
King of the Hill. No, I don't think.
It's kind of like it's kind of like
I know who that is. Yep. I don't know a lot about him.
Well, it's Oilers, Hank Hill.
You got the whole weekend to figure it out.
Yep, you got a lot of seasons to watch. Who was the last Oilers goaltender that you felt consistently confident in?
wow.
Well, to be fair, I've been an Oilers fan since 2010.
So none of them.
So Stuart Skinner.
Stuart Skinner's my answer too.
Yeah. Like, what's the run from that?
What about before Skinner?
Are we saying quietly confident?
You're just confident every night your goaltender is going to show up.
It's Campbell.
It's gotta be, for me, it was Dwayne Rollison in the playoffs.
Cam Talbot, 2017 for me.
Oh, that was a good.
See, Talbot, you know what? You can go back to Dubnyk too, where you know what? It was the guys in front of him that were giving up grade A chances on that dude. If you leveled all that off to, you know, B's and C's, I think you had a goaltender there, and you saw it once he went out and he went over to Minnesota and was a Vezina.
Yeah, Talbot would have been my second pick.
But I felt pretty good with a backup too in LB.
Dadbot.
Dadbot was good, but I liked LB as a backup too. I thought he would have been, if the team played well in front of him, and he's put up a whole career since, and everybody chased him out of town.
I was a big Cam Talbot fan at the time, so I still remain. Lovely person.
Can we do, I wanted to ask you guys this, and now it ties in nicely to this question. We were talking about Ben Eager. His last year with the Oilers was 13-14. And the team had 6 goalies make a start for them that season. Ooh. Can you name them all?
What year again?
All of them?
Say it again?
13-14.
Yan Denis.
Drew and Delorier.
Martin Gerber.
Yeah.
Mathieu Guérin.
13,
Well, that's
14.
before that.
13, 14. So, okay. So I'm thinking, because I'm the idiot that came up with the 99 problems, but a goalie ain't one. So Ben Scrivens, Victor Fast.
Bingo. You nailed 2 of the 6.
And there was 4 more?
There was 4 more.
Where
that
are they
year.
from?
Jan Denis?
No, I said Denny.
Oh, did we get was Briz here for that?
Briz.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Brizzy, how you doing, huh?
There's that photo that every now and then it pops up on Twitter, and I love it, where he's sitting in a completely different room watching the game on a little TV. I don't know what rig they were in.
Olivier Waugh?
No, I was
Doobie?
but he was traded.
Doobie's 4.
So
we got
4.
Fast, Scrivens,
Holy
Doobie,
smokes.
and Briz. We're missing 2. You guys are missing
more?
2 more.
Bunsey?
No.
Fuck.
Did they establish NHL careers?
No.
Yeah, kinda.
Oof.
Really?
Yeah. You want him?
Yeah.
I
I
want
was going to say Stolenkov, but that's a couple years ago.
There's one that's, anyways, go ahead.
Old Bachman Turner overdrive, Richard Bachman.
Oh, man. I forgot about that
3
one.
games had a 302 goals against average, somehow a 916 save percentage.
Do you remember we were all like, this guy's got to be the goalie?
Because he had one game that was like unreal. I think he had like a 45 save shutout against the Canucks or some shit. And the other one was Jason LaBarbera.
Wow.
Oh, I forgot about Jason LaBarbera.
I wouldn't have gotten these if I didn't look it up. I forgot he was an Oiler.
To start the season, that would have been, I think it was LaBarbera, was to start the year.
With Habib.
No, it would have been
It would have been
it would have been Doobie and LaBarbera.
Oh,
Because Dubnyk got traded for
how
Matt
did Habib
Hendricks.
get in there?
Happy Bullen wasn't there. Fast.
Oh,
And then they would have gone on throughout the year, and eventually they traded for Victor Fast.
They traded Scrivens to
in
get
March.
Was that the year they traded him to get Cassian?
Cass?
No, that would have been
They finished with those.
That would have been the year they acquired him in January for a 3rd round pick. So they acquired Fast and Scrivens throughout the year. Fast was a trade deadline ad. Briz, you guys know they signed. They started the year with LaBarbera and Dubnyk, and Bachman was signed as a free agent but played in.
he was
OKC.
more of the OKC guy. He just kind of came up. He's the veteran.
What did we trade Fast for? Was that 4th rounder?
To acquire him?
Yeah.
Yeah, we traded from the Ducks to the Oilers for a 5th round pick and a 3rd round pick, which did not become Yan Denis, became someone Denis Yan.
Stop it.
Dude, look at his hockey DB.
Denis Yan. He's in Bizarro World. Yan
That's
Denis.
incredible. I thought you just missed the
was he
comma
a
there.
goalie too?
No, he's a left winger.
Oh, I love it.
Yan Y.
And it's still playing. So shout out to Denny Yan. It might be Dennis, actually.
If you have Ask the Idiots questions, just slide on into my DMs. I will ask the boys. They have not seen any of these. I just get their first impressions. And for our friends at Twig and Berries, go check them out at Twig and Berries.
He has his hand up.
Yes, Liam. Or
No,
Tyler.
that's Tyler.
I'm just putting up my hand so that we take a quick little pause for an ad.
Oh, yes.
Ding dong.
Tomorrow night, another big divisional game for the Edmonton Oilers, the Vegas Golden Knights in town for their first meeting of the season. What's everybody expecting from that one? Because Vegas is just, they're playing well right now.
Mattias Janmark revenge game.
Maybe that's
Can
why he's
we
on the first line.
Please get that for once where we get the reverse former Oiler curse where all of a sudden Mattias Janmark goes
That's
out.
going to do something to us.
Mattias Janmark goes out and pops 3 or something. You go, whoa, where did that come from? He's like, I put like $2,000 on the board or whatever the fuck. And you're just like, oh my God, okay. But what are you guys expecting against Vegas?
I expect them to come out and win. I expect everything that all the same expectations I had at the beginning of the season. So I expect them to come in and show Vegas that we are the top team in the division.
When I expect the Oilers to win, they play like shit. When I expect the Oilers to lose, they play great. So they'll win tomorrow.
So you're
Because I'm expecting them
to
to lose.
Honestly, you better finish that sentence, sir.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm kind of with Tyler on that. Like, it feels like this is a loss where we're kind of just penciling it in as another game where the Oilers are going to struggle, and they'll probably come out and play lights out.
You
and
can't
shut
pencil
down
in a division game as a loss.
I'm not penciling anything in.
You
Rick.
just
I'm
said they're penciling it as a loss.
Well, I guess, yeah, the fans, I would say, are looking at this game and thinking, yeah, that's a top team in Vegas, and this is a struggling team in Edmonton.
I don't know if we're struggling. We're 9-8. And
We're
that's
struggling in comparison to the division leading Vegas Golden Knights, who are we are playing.
14-4.
So I just, yeah, I would say that my feeling is that this team doesn't win this game, but they probably come out and play a really good game on a Saturday night.
Liam, what are you expecting?
I think they'll win. I think Stuart Skinner will just continue to be great for this team, and hopefully they can just rally around. They've had 2 big wins in the last week or so against Florida and Tampa. So another tough opponent. I think they can do it.
And Stuart's playing well. Like,
We're playing our 2-13 from last year right now.
Oh yeah.
if Stuart Skinner plays like he did on Wednesday, which based on his game so far this season, I think the Oilers are going to be fine. He was not the reason the Oilers lost to LA.
No.
932 in that game. That is fantastic. For the
It's
goaltender.
hats off to LA for stopping us.
Yeah, I mean, they had 29 blocked shots. That is
Start
insane.
shooting for ankles, man. Make it painful to stand there.
Just no adjustments that game whatsoever.
There really wasn't. There was like fastball, 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 fastball. There was nothing else coming down.
I've been practicing shooting pucks off feet last night.
Mm-hmm. We're just,
You wanna
like you
stand
said,
there?
just about 3 feet higher.
Yeah, dude. They'll move real fast.
Score prediction tomorrow night against the Vegas Golden Knights. Daniel.
I'm going to stick with my theme and pick them to lose. So I'm going to say 5-2 Vegas win. And then now the Oilers are going to definitely win.
Rick.
5-1 Oil.
Tyler.
Give me 5-1. I'm going to say,
Yeah, man, they're coming out and you're going to see a different version.
I'll say 4-1.
I was also going to say 4-1.
I'm going to say 4-2
Shocking.
because, oh, by the way, like when the Oilers beat, who was it? Florida 4-2. There's nothing more entertaining to me than being like, told you guys I'd do it. Like, just told you.
Nailed it.
Anyway, time for hot and cold performers of the week for our friends at Canada Snowboard. The FIS Big Air Championship is coming to Commonwealth Stadium, courtesy of Toyota and our friends at Explore Edmonton. Tickets are now available at Ticketmaster. If you look at the real life Instagram and Twitter account, Tyler posted just what the ramp looks like for this event.
When is this event?
December 10th.
And what day's today?
Today is November 18th.
So we're just like shipping some snow over from Buffalo?
It's actually really interesting to see how they do it. They're building like this massive scaffolding in Commonwealth, and they're going to bury it with snow somehow.
Snow machines, I would think.
I would imagine so.
What are we going to do with Snow Valley then? Do we have enough snow machines in this city?
I would imagine they probably trucked in a few more.
Yeah, we're going to have to import some like crash ice stuff.
But we also, there's a factory up top of us that does often bring in some fresh
just
stuff.
bring some of that stuff from Buffalo and out there.
Buffalo's getting a crazy amount of snow right now. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster. Tyler and I will be there. Looking forward to it. I'm going to sit right by the ramp. I think it's cool. Watch the best snowboarders on earth do their thing. Big air contests always rule.
Is there a list of who the snowboarders will be announced yet?
I saw your name on there, Liam.
Yep, bag milk.
Yep.
Do you have certain snowboarders you're looking to go see?
What's the Mark McMorris?
I don't think this is his kind of event.
No,
That's not. It's on X Games.
I'm going to go down on a crazy carpet.
This is not an X Games event. I don't think.
That would
I think
be
this
incredible.
is more like
One of those.
That would be amazing.
international. I believe.
Like some kind of Red Bull, like that sounds like a Red Bull event. You know, like they do that Flugtag or whatever it's called, where they build a little airplane, but they just launch you off a big air ramp. I'd watch that shit. All right, we start off with our veggies every week, boys. It is time for our Canada Snowboard Cold Performers of the Week. Liam, you are to my right. I'm going to start with you.
Alex Edler, the Neon Connor McDavid.
Good one. Tyler, you're up next.
Toronto Blue Jays traded Teoscar Hernandez, and he was a fan favorite and someone who I enjoyed watching play baseball. I'm sad about it, even though the baseball side of me knows the deal made sense. But I'm going to miss Teoscar being a Jay.
It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Fuck them.
You almost say watch baseball with. I felt like
No, I didn't. I don't think.
I very much enjoy watching baseball with Teoscar Hernandez. Sad he's gone.
Luckily, he's at my favorite team, the Seattle Kraken.
Now he's closer for you.
Rick, you're up next. Your Canada Snowboard Cold Form of the Week.
It goes to the Department of Player Safety. If your officials can't make the calls and somebody has to watch the video afterwards and correct it, and they don't have, in my estimation, they don't have the balls to do it. So it's them.
You're as cold as ice.
Nation Dan, your Canada Snowboard Cold Form of the Week.
This is going to sound a little bit aggressive from me. It's not really necessarily his fault that he's my cold performer of the week, but it's Mattias Blumel, former Edmonton Oiler prospect, now Dallas Star regular. And am I saying his name wrong, Tyler?
No, I'm cringing because this sucks.
Yes. So it's just anytime he scores a goal, anytime I see the Dallas Stars talk about him, it's just going to be a constant reminder that we let him go for absolutely nothing. So he gets my cold performer of the week.
100th overall draft pick of the Edmonton Oilers. They do not sign him. He finds his way to, they forget to sign him. He then finds his way to the Stars organization after some years overseas, puts up 11 points in 9 AHL games, and now has 1 goal in 4 NHL games to start his career. This dude is 22 years old, 6 feet, 200 pounds, right winger that shoots left. Would have been a nice fit right about now.
I'd say we gave him a Devon Shore, really.
Yep. 1 goal in 4 games. Something to keep an eye on, but I'm not getting too
That's a
bummed out yet.
20-ish goal pace, Rick.
Well, isn't Connor on like pace to score like 1,000 then? Like,
Well,
What's Scott
say he does it.
Shore on pace to score? Does he have a goal yet?
no.
Damn it.
Or Devon Shore, man. You were just
School.
hope he's wearing a helmet
He's
today because he
catching
took
strays.
a lot of shit today. You know what I mean?
And it's all because Liam is supporting him. That's the
I'm
problem.
on the Shore train.
My Canada Snowboard Cold Performer of the Week is still the Oilers penalty kill. Oddly, it has improved from 30th place to 29th place over the last 7 days, but we are still operating at a 71.8% success rate. That is nowhere near good enough for a team with expectations as high as the Oilers. The PK needs work.
I'm upset.
Flipping the ledger. Let's end off the podcast on a positive note. Nation Dan, we're reversing. You're up first. Your Canada Snowboard Hot Performer of the Week.
My hot performer of the week is going to be a selfish one. It's going to go to Hockey Fight Social Media, which has something really cool coming down the pipeline that I can't quite say yet from the Fox network. And as well, Facebook just unlocked us as a new content producer. And so we're going to be able to make some money on Facebook. So Hockey Fight Social Media gets my hot performer of the week.
The big guy is smoking hot.
Followed more than how many NHL teams?
3, the Arizona Coyotes, the Ottawa Senators, and the Florida Panthers all have less followers
Who
than
are you
us.
coming for next?
The next one is, that's a great question. It's somebody with 400,000, so it's a while away. I don't even have them in my
400,000?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm at 352,000 right now.
Rick, your Canada Snowboard Hot Performer of the Week.
if there's one Oiler right now who's playing above what we expected, I think it's Stuart Skinner. So I'm going to give it to Stuart Skinner and his fat mustache.
Pour it on.
And his fat ass.
He's a hot guy.
Well done.
Tyler, you're up next. Your Canada Snowboard Hot Performer of the Week.
Oh, the Twitter meltdown we got yesterday, and everyone just being like, it's going to die. It was kind of like what I imagine living through Y2K was like. Because then you woke up this morning and it was like, oh, Twitter's fine.
Can I tell you a quick story about Y2K? It's one of my favorite things that ever happened.
Sure.
We had a house party New Year's Eve, 1999. We are in high school at this point now. One of the dudes that I was at this party with, as soon as the clock struck midnight, he was at the circuit breaker down in the basement.
Oh, what an asshole.
And flipped everything off.
Great play.
Shutting down all of the power to the house we were in. And all of the girls that were in the house just started shrieking. Probably one of my favorites.
How many people
jokes.
knew?
Just him.
Just him.
Just him.
Anyone.
Nobody.
Brilliant.
Right to
pretty
the
good
Brilliant.
timing.
You guys have no idea what the feelings were and what was being said as this was creeping up on us.
Well, I lived through 2012, Rick. So that was big.
What was that?
You were in that John Cusack movie?
The Mayan.
Was it the Mayan thing? Okay, yeah.
This one was different though because we had no communication to like confirm that we were still alive.
It
right
actually
after midnight.
sort of kind of made sense when they explained it to you.
Yeah.
Society very gullible and dumb in 1999.
Yes.
And
Actually, not much better
2022 is right now.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Liam, you're up next. Your Canada Snowboard Hop Performer of the Week.
Tyrion Lannister. So I've been watching Game of Thrones recently.
What season?
I'm just about to finish.
Relevant.
Just about to finish season 2. I'm on the final episode. He just did a big speech on the stairs to rally the troops and King's Landing.
He's got his helmet on.
Yeah, to
2017
fight the other guy, Baranister.
Yeah.
Sanister.
But they're going to go through the little tunnels.
Yeah, and then he comes around and he just
Moranis.
axes that guy's leg off. I was just like, pick it up. Whatever.
Spoiler alerts.
Yeah,
Jeez,
sorry.
Liam.
And then
Man.
he just got sliced on the face. And
Have you seen this before?
no, I know what happens, but I don't know
You've never watched it, but you haven't
know that
watched
they
it.
fight over
I
a
watched
throne?
House of the Dragon, and then I was like, I'm gonna watch Game of Thrones now. Very, very good show.
Even had to give the physical prompt to tell him to press the button.
I didn't know we were ending there.
I'm out now.
Liam comes with like a prepared book report on season 3. He's like, for my hot performer of the week, I'd like to discuss the third season.
I was going to say Stuart Skinner for my hot performer. Of the
No, you were
week.
going to say Tyrion Lannister. You know it.
So inspired by Liam, I'm just going to say shout out to HBO for all their fine programming.
This is why I'm hot cause I'm fly. You ain't cause you not.
Use the promo code ONRadioPod for 20% off an HBO Max subscription. That's how we just soft
If
launched
it doesn't
our-
work, send them an email.
Yeah. Some customer support guy at HBO was like, what the fuck?
This podcast says it's sponsored by you guys now.
For our friends at... Go ahead,
I
Liam.
was gonna say, lots of good television right now. Blockbuster. Did you guys see that one on Netflix yet?
I watched the first episode and didn't like it. Is it worth watching episode 2?
It's pretty solid. It's pretty solid.
It
The
strikes me
Walking
as-
Dead ends this week. Yeah,
That's still on?
well, not almost.
Not anymore.
Almost
Zombies are
not.
about to win,
Yeah.
Tyler.
It's getting a little wild.
Did
Last
you know
night
that?
on Netflix, I finished watching their series, Pepsi, Where's My Jet?
Fuck, I need to watch
If
that.
you're looking for some, Rick, you'll remember. You guys, actually, Dan and Rick will remember this. In the 90s, Pepsi used to have Pepsi points.
Yeah.
And they had a commercial that I guarantee if you see the commercial, you'll be like, oh, I remember that. Where the joke was for 7 million Pepsi points,
got a
they were
jet.
giving away a Harrier jet.
And someone did
And
it.
this
They
is
didn't
the
have
story
jet.
of a young man who went and got those 7 million points.
These are the people that should be running our country right now, not everybody
It's like
else.
when Michael Scott gave up did Scott Bucks
Scott
or
Tots.
for 5 cents or whatever. No, it was
The
sorry,
golden
it was Andy.
ticket.
It was Andy where he was trying to incentivize them, and
I thought you were talking about Shroot Bucks.
If they cashed in their points for it was 7,000 points, he'd go get a Nard Dog tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moments like that.
Liam, did you know that one of the dragons from that show was originally
Blue's
in
Clues from
the
Blue's
movie
Clues.
theater in Western Mall?
No, I did not know
Yeah,
that.
they had to take them out of there so they can go put them on the TV show.
Did you know?
I like how you looked at me like I would be the one.
You had a look on your face there, like what?
I was waiting
Have
for
you
you to
guys
laugh.
seen the movie RV with Robin Williams?
Yes.
So Tyler will know this maybe.
Sure.
So do you know in that movie there's I think it's a raccoon or something like that? You might remember vaguely. There was a guy who went to radio school.
Are you thinking of Guardians of the Galaxy?
No. It was
Where are
definitely.
you going with this?
Do you remember Connor Brown from Nate?
Yeah.
That was his pet raccoon. He had this
Shut up.
pet raccoon, and they asked him to, he's now a movie raccoon. And he was in the movie RV.
Thanks for listening. No,
Now a movie raccoon.
We the best.
Another hot performer.
What was the guy's name? Sorry, what was the guy's name?
Connor Brown is the
Okay,
his
Connor with
name.
a K.
I don't remember what the raccoon was called.
Any other TV thoughts before we shut it down?
Yeah, Liam.
I'm good. Oilers
This is a
game
new segment on
Saturday.
Tuesdays.
We absolutely need the ISO cam on Liam, and we can just stream him live in this side of the room. For put the camera up in the corner. All 5 of us are in the same room for the first time. What feels like forever. It's great.
does feel like
and our setup, I feel like, is very good for this kind of conversation because we're all just in like a perfect little circle. But we definitely need a camera on Liam.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your TV thoughts, and I'm sure the folks at HBO would as well.
No problem, HBO. Not really a TV guy, to be honest.
Okay.
With that, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you to DoorDash, Oodle Noodle, Twig and Berries in Canada Snowboard. That is Oilers Nation Radio episode 6051. We're wrapping it up.
Shout out Connor Brown's raccoon.
Thanks for listening to Oilers Nation Radio, delivered by DoorDash. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram.